But the point is, we have really come to know this brother and have an even greater respect. And as he said, inspiration. Don't be impressed, but be inspired. And that's a good thing, because inspiration generally leads you to do something about your condition or your situation. So I appreciate him. So, how are you doing, Mr. Bryan Franklin?
Well, the proclivity to bring me.
Oh, Jesus.
Bishop Jones here, Bishop Jones. Dr. Jones.
I spoke from the pulpit of Bishop Noel Jones about a month ago.
Yes.
And it was just so amazing. We look so much alike.
No, you're telling me that. I saw that clip.
Yeah, we.
That's the first thing I said. They're twins.
And if all goes well, I'll be speaking this Sunday also.
Oh, good. Praise God.
We're working on a really unique economic development model.
Okay.
And it's called Black 365.
I saw that. Yes, Black 365, y'all. Black 365. That's 365 days a year.
And it's BAM.eco. And the whole goal is to move us from quote-unquote individualist and staunch consumers and economic issues for business, which equals red. Our goal is to move us in the black and stay in the Black 365. So it's a really nice movement, and he gets it, which is really good. You saw the video.
Oh, yeah.
He talked for 5 minutes talking about where the issues are within the black community.
Right.
And then I talked for about 30 seconds about
you were very quick.
Very quick.
Good.
That was planting the seed, okay?
To the point.
Now the next step is to harvest, and then after we harvest, we eat.
I like that. I like that. So, you've heard it. He is a stand-in for Bishop Noel Jones.
Whatever I need to.
See? You see that?
That's crazy,
But it really was amazing, because he was standing, as Bishop was introducing him, he says, Bryan, come on up here.
Yes.
So Bryan came, and he was just standing in the back, and so you saw Bryan back here, and you saw Bishop, it's like, and they had the same gray shadow. It was like totally, I was like,
even my
wow.
mama feels he looks like me.
Your mom
if my mama says it, you know it's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Mom was like, well, baby, I know your daddy. I wasn't ready.
Well, he's not old enough to be my dad.
Okay.
So he's like,
no. She knows.
Oh,
she knows your daddy, meaning that wasn't the same daddy that his daddy is. You understand? Yeah.
And if anybody wants to see that video, if anybody wants to see that video, really.
Reality show part 2.
No, he is not.
Preachers of LA part 2.
There you go.
Bishop Noel Jones. They're not twins. They're just people that happen to look like each other. You probably have somebody that looks like you too. Everybody said there's a twin. I mean, they said that everybody has a twin. So don't go and say, she said that Bishop Noel Jones' mama had. It ain't that. The blood of Jesus.
Indeed.
Anyway, it's all off.
If
Lord.
anybody would like to see that video, just go to stayintheblack365.com. Again, stay, S-T-A-Y-I-N, theblack365.com. It'll redirect you to a YouTube video. You can watch the video for yourself and tell me what you think.
Say that again.
Stay in the black 365.com.
That's it. Stay in the black 365.com. Now, you have something, imall.com. Now that's, first it was madvoice.com. I remember you when you were madvoice.com.
Yes,
madvoice.com. Then you changed and you became imall.com. So tell us about Mad Voice and imall. How did that all happen?
Let me give the quickest story possible. When I was able to retire in 1998, I became very conscious of my family. So I created, and my background is high technology, traveled around the world. I used to travel 150,000 miles around the world a year. And so I've been in virtually every major corporation's manufacturing facility, HP's, IBM, you name it, I've been in their facilities around the world. And so being from the hood, I'm from Watts. Wait, hold on.
Hey. Wait a minute. What is that? Is that West Side?
No gang signs. No gang signs.
Uh-oh. Come on.
That's Watts.
That's Watts. Oh,
That's Watts.
Is that right, Skip?
I thought that was Pyro.
Ice Cube stole it from Watts.
There you go.
Ice Cube took it from Watts.
Took it from Watts.
That's Watts.
Give it back.
I
We
thought
taking it back. What is that?
Says Star Trek. That's Vulcan.
So being from the hood,
Yes.
and I trust you agree, I speak somewhat intelligently.
Of course.
All right.
I agree.
And so traveling around the world, I raised up in the company that I worked for because a lot of times I'd go to some facility way out in the middle of nowhere. I'd be almost the only black person in the building, and people thought, uh-oh, they're sending us the brother who's not going to deliver. But I actually over-delivered.
I was going to say, exceptionally well.
Yes. And so I raised up in the company very fast and very well. So when I was able to do an active retirement, I became conscious about black businesses. If you call the average small black-owned business today, what do they sound like on their voicemail? Small black-owned busises, right?
Welcome to Mama's Kitchen.
Yes, ma'am. So
we ain't here.
Yeah.
Call us later.
Yes. So we created a voicemail greeting service.
Oh.
And my first voice I hired's name is Madeline. So I named the company after her, Madeline's Voice. That's where it came from?
Madeline's voice.
Madeline's voice.
Okay.
She had an amazing voice. So, as I was researching network marketing, I started seeing issues. And so it changed from Madeline's voice to making a difference using your voice.
Yes, that's what I remember, making a difference.
Making a difference using your voice. Then in 2006 or so, I was dating this young lady, and her and other ladies, player.
Ooh.
There's my P.
Calling herself out.
No, and she said, if one woman gives you everything you need, why do you need more than one?
Uh-oh.
I agreed with her because I like truth. Okay. I'm really in the truth.
Okay.
She and my brother, Dr. Bryan Franklin, one of the few medical doctors from Locke.
Not the keyboard player that we knew.
Yes, ma'am. Well,
know.
yes.
But he plays too.
Bottom line, she's like, one. So one became prevalent. So we changed the company to, and my brother said, so what you want people to understand is that there really only needs to be one internet mall. Yeah? So we made the name exactly what the whole goal is, oneimall.com, one internet mall.
One internet
mall.
I like that.
Yes, ma'am.
I like that.
That's
so
all
now,
there need to be.
Now, this is how this really started, with him telling me to go, sister, and check out my bio and, then come back to me. Because I said, I've always looked at the front of the site. I go to One Eye Mall. I'm like, what? This is not I'm not a shopper anyway, whether it's online or in the stores. I'm not a shopper. So I was like, So I didn't really go past the first page and be like, okay, fine. Then he came here at RMC and we were talking. And I said, Bryan, I don't really, I didn't really go into your site because there's something about the front page I didn't really like. And so he also let me know that the most ugliest sites are the most successful sites.
Go to Google again, look at it. There's nothing there, the most valuable in the world.
So he said, you told me about Alibaba. It's like, all this stuff is simple, but they're making billions. Not millions, they're making billions.
Billions.
So when I went and read your bio, I realized that he had worked with, it was another, General Electric. He did some stuff with General Electric.
Former consultant to General Electric.
A former consultant to General Electric.
One of the largest companies in the world.
Yeah. GE, you know them. And then you said HP, but there was some name. The people who there was a black guy who actually started the. What did he start? The internet. He started.
McHenry is a brother that founded Network Solutions in 1979.
Network Solutions.
For those of you that don't know, Network Solutions is what GoDaddy is today.
Okay.
A black man founded that in '79. The internet was introduced to the general population in 1994. Okay, so from 79 to 94, can you imagine him trying to explain what he invented?
Right. He was ahead of himself.
Very much so.
But he's still a billionaire right
He did well, millions. However, he sold in 95 under financial duress, for the most part, for $5 million. One would say, oh, pretty good for this brother. 5 years later, his company, Network Solutions, sold to VeriSign for $20 billion.
Oh, God.
It is the largest internet acquisition ever in history. If it wasn't for Emmett and his team in general, Facebook, Google, eBay, they wouldn't exist, because he created the platform called the Domain Name Service. He invented it in 79.
A black man.
A black man.
But he's your friend.
One of my associates.
One of his associates. This is what I'm saying. This man is not only a genius in the technology field, he's hooked up with other geniuses, and they've made great financial gains on this thing.
So, interestingly,
what?
I've been introduced as a genius many times, and I would say I'm not a genius.
Okay.
And
just brilliant?
No. Watch this. I was at the Scientology Center on 81st and Vermont.
Okay.
And their master teacher was there. He said, and I was introduced as a genius. He said, this guy Bryan's a genius. I said, no, I'm not a genius. And he asked me, do I know the definition of genius? And I said, no. And he gave me the definition.
I'm gonna say,
Let me watch this. Let me read
You just think brilliant off the chart with your knowledge.
Let me read you the definition, just so I don't mess this definition up.
Okay.
Let me read you this, and this is going to really be good for some young ones. Here's the definition of genius. You got to listen very closely. An exceptional, natural capacity of intellect, especially as shown in creative and original work in science, art, music, etc. That's the definition of genius.
So Black 365, you're geniuses.
Indeed.
We are creative. We are the
Geniuses.
creators. The creator created us to be creative.
That's the
we
definition.
walked in our in arts, please.
That's the definition.
So we're all geniuses.
Most young black boys are, guess what?
I mean, can I get a witness?
Geniuses.
Yes.
That's real.
Come on, give me some.
Amen.
Woo.
And
So,
that's
genius?
Yes, man. I
You
am.
are a genius.
But it feels funny to say, yeah, I'm a genius. Feels funny.
Well, that's how we have to now reintroduce it.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a genius. I'm a genius.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, y'all. I'm a
I'm a
genius.
genius.
Come on, Skip.
I'm a genius.
Oh, indeed. Barbara.
Indeed.
I am a creator.
Praise the Lord. Uncle.
I don't need to say it. We already know it.
I like it.
That's called reiteration.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's fantastic. It's not just fantastic. It is wonderful.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yes, it is
Because
amazing.
most think it's this smart, this and that. Just natural capacity.
You
And
all-
That's something we have. It's natural.
You all Google this man, Bryan Bryan Franklin. I don't know if there's any others that spell the name like that, but when you see the pictures, look at this face and you'll know if that's the right one. Look at that. Yes, BRYAN FRANKLIN, Bryan Franklin.net, isn't it too?
Yes, ma'am. May I give you a little story on that?
Go ahead.
When you Google Bryan Franklin, Bryan space Franklin, you're going to see two Bryans.
Okay.
A black one and a white one.
Wow. Which
The
one
white-
will you choose?
The white Bryan called me up, because I used to own BryanFranklin.com also.
Okay.
So the white Bryan Franklin, read his bio also,
Okay.
called me up and said, Bryan, I want that domain.
Huh.
And I said, well, make me an offer that I won't refuse.
Wow.
And he made me an offer I didn't refuse.
Stop.
Read his bio.
Dang. Okay, let's read
It's
his.
the new real estate, okay?
Are you serious?
Oh, he made me an offer I didn't refuse.
Dude, look, I'm gonna have to say this on public. I said to my friend, I'm like, I think he's a millionaire. He's not a millionaire. I know. I know millionaires. He ain't no millionaire. Now, I asked him, he didn't really say he was or wasn't, but he told me that his company is doing what kind of work? What kind of money?
Well, in 2000, I talk about past versus present in regards
Okay.
to dollars. Because I like being below the radar, but I will say this, I'll be the first billionaire from Watts. No, it's real talk. But
You trying to hear that?
Dre got, on camera, Dre got me from Compton, and I'm good with it, other than how he made it, but I won't go there.
Uh-huh.
However, first from Watts. But watch this.
Praise the Lord.
I sent you some data today, as you know,
Yeah.
regarding a Denny's
Yeah,
deal.
A Denny's deal.
Huge. $175 million at 1% success. And we're dealing with them on some issues right now. But you may hear about it in the news. But just search oneeyemall.com Denny's. Read it for yourself. But where I'm going with this is, I like being below the radar. I like it. Not only do I like being below the radar, that same gentleman that you talked about in regards to me not being, there's a radio station that our group is in position to buy for $6 to $8 million. It's called KTYM Radio.
Right.
Right now, the Catholic Church is in first position.
Right.
And they went to first position. They got active on really closing the deal when a viable buyer came in to actually really put the money down. We did it. All we did was escalated it for the Catholic Church, and Mr. Borrego, the owner of KTYM, is going to get his payday.
Wow.
So
This is quite interesting. Quite interesting, ladies and gentlemen.
There
You
have
heard it here on the Wednesdays Woman Show. Now, Bryan,
Yes, ma'am.
we want to wrap things up because we got another crew coming in.
Yes.
I'm going to let Sister Faye do her thing. Oh, look at it. Look at. Is that Nico? No, that's Marcy. Hey, girl, you ready? See, my hair is ready for you, sugar. My hair is ready. She going to hook me up. She going to do me a do up there pretty soon. So, look, what is the most important thing you want the people to know? And in connecting with you, because there are I want to get black businessmen working together. I know it's not a new thing, but the integrity and the ethics, the work ethics that we want to display, it may be new. So I'm saying this to say we've had enough of foolishness and crap coming up out of our black economic situation where, oh, this one, oops, it ran off with the money. And, oh, this one bought him a house instead of buying the business, their new site. We're not, enough of that. The women are not going to take that no more. She said, I ain't either. Okay, she up there. So the point is, I'm believing you. I'm believing Bishop, your connections there is going to bring us a newness of how we're supposed to work together in the godly sense and in just the moral sense of us being free and loving to each other. I don't want to see you, get duped, or I don't want you to see me get duped either. So let's watch out for each other. So talk about that. How could you be, able to let people know, I know you have your fees and things. That's how you are in your position. You can't just do everything for free. So y'all don't expect everything for free. Don't even do it. Take that out. It's not free. Takes money to make money. Now go ahead on. How could we
Very good.
Connect and represent some things?
Thank you for that. Well, first of all, I know how the pyramids were built. Okay? Let's go back there.
I know how the pyramids
It's
is built.
real simple. Mind, body, and spirit on one accord. There is nothing you cannot do, including moving mountains.
Praise the Lord.
Okay?
Praise the Lord.
So based on that as being the foundation, going back to Kemet, where it all began. So now we move from Africa to this continent, okay? And we use the same strategy, mind, body, and spirit on one accord. That's why the faith-based community is so important to me. Mm-hmm. And so then we look at that, and we understand the importance of the mind, body, and spirit on one accord, and understanding that oneness is how we really get it done. And so start there, and then last but not least, because of the journey, however we came over in that boat, it also caused some psychological issues that have affected our DNA. And there's a sister who wrote a book about it called PTSS, Post-Traumatic Slavery Syndrome. Once we address the
post-traumatic slavery syndrome.
Yes, ma'am.
The after effects of slavery.
Absolutely. Once we address that, and understand how we built the pyramids and how beautiful our blackness, and I love your hair, by the way.
Amen.
Indeed. And so with that, we're good. How we started, remove the psychological issues, and then we can do what we did before again. It's called Sankofa.
Sankofa. Looking back.
There you go. You understand?
Where we came from.
You understand?
It was how I got over.
Huh?
How I got over